3,200 years ago, the Mediterranean was not a sea that divided people. It was a highway that connected the greatest empires the world had ever known. In Mycenae, kings lived in palaces covered in gold. Their warriors wore bronze armor that shone like the sun. They believed their power would last forever. From Egypt came grain. From Cyprus, copper. From Afghanistan, tin. To make bronze, you needed the whole world. One broken trade route, and the entire system would starve. And then, the earth began to shake. Not just once, but for 50 years. Archaeologists call it an earthquake storm. Palace after palace collapsed into dust. When the shaking stopped, the rain stopped too. For over 100 years, no rain fell. The rivers dried. The crops burned in the fields. Famine consumed entire kingdoms. From the smoking ruins, people fled to the sea. Egypt's scribes wrote in panic about mysterious invaders from the north. They called them the Sea Peoples. Warriors with no home. The great trading city of Ugarit sent its last message. A clay tablet that says, "The enemy ships are here, they are burning my city." After that, the tablet was never sent. In just one generation, every major palace from Greece to Mesopotamia was destroyed or abandoned. Writing disappeared. Trade ended. The lights of civilization went out. For 400 years, the world was silent. A dark age. But in small villages, survivors learned a new secret. Not bronze, but iron. Harder, cheaper, and available to everyone. The lesson. The Bronze Age did not fall because of one enemy. It fell because it was too connected, too fragile, too complex. A system's collapse. And the question we must ask is, are we any different today? In the heart of Anatolia, the mighty Hittite capital of Hattusa, home to 10,000 people, was completely abandoned overnight. Its gates were left open. No one ever returned. Only Egypt survived. Pharaoh Ramesses III faced the Sea Peoples in a massive naval battle at the Nile Delta. He won, but his kingdom was so weakened it would never recover. In the ruins, we find thousands of clay tablets, half-written. Tax records, grain lists, desperate pleas for help. They are the frozen last moments of a dying administration. With the palaces gone, no one needed scribes. Within a single generation, the art of writing was completely forgotten in Greece. It would be lost for 400 years. People left the great stone cities and returned to small, dirty villages on hilltops. No kings, no taxes, no bronze. Just farmers trying to survive the winter with handmade pottery. Bronze required trade from 2 continents. But iron was different. Iron ore was everywhere. When people finally learned to smelt it at 1,500 degrees, power no longer belonged only to kings. To keep trade simple, the Phoenicians invented something revolutionary. Instead of 1,000 complicated pictures, just 22 letters. An alphabet. Anyone could learn to write in a day. For centuries, Greeks told stories around fires about a lost golden age of heroes and giants who built huge walls. They called it the Age of Heroes. They had forgotten it was their own past. 3,000 years later, a man named Heinrich Schliemann dug into a hill in Turkey, believing Homer's stories were real. He found 9 cities, stacked on top of each other. Troy was real. In 1929, we found Ugarit. A palace library with 1,000 tablets, still sitting on the shelves where they fell when the city burned. A time capsule of the final days. Skeletons from this period show deep grooves in their teeth, a sign of severe malnutrition as a child. These people did not die in battle. They starved, slowly, for years. This was not just an invasion. It was a mass migration. Tens of thousands of hungry families, with ox carts and children, moving south, looking for food, destroying everything in their way to survive. The trade collapse. When one city fell, it took others with it. No more copper from Cyprus meant no more bronze in Athens. No more grain from Egypt meant famine in Hutti. It was the first globalized economic crash. The temples were also abandoned. People must have asked, why did the gods let this happen? The old gods of the Bronze Age palaces died with the kings who served them. The battle was not just on land. For the first time in history, we see a war fought at sea. Ships ramming ships. Men fighting on decks. The age of naval warfare had begun. This was a perfect storm. Earthquake, drought, famine, rebellion, and invasion all happened at once. No single cause. A domino effect where every system failed at the same time. After the cities burned, the sky remained the same. The Milky Way still shone over the ruins. The universe did not notice that civilization had just ended. And then, slowly, the sun rose again. In a small valley, a child played with a wooden cart while his parents rebuilt a thatched hut. The Bronze Age was over. The Iron Age had begun. We still argue. Was it climate change? Was it war? Was it technology? The truth is, we may never know exactly why the Bronze Age collapsed. The silence is too deep. On the left, a palace in its glory. On the right, the same palace as ruins. This is not just ancient history. It is a warning. How fragile is our own interconnected world?